Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the next topic of the chapter number 7, that is nature of light. So in that we are going to discuss about two subtopics, that is first one corpuscular nature and second one wave nature of light. Generally the term corpuscular is represent particle nature, and the term particle is nothing but a tiny particles which can exhibit the nature of the light. So in 1642 Newton predicted corpuscular theory. So in that theory, according to this theory, he can predicted some important points regarding to the corpuscular theory of light. So first point is noted that source of light is made up of number of tiny particles known as corpuscles. Again I repeat, the term is known as corpuscles. How to pronounce this term corpuscles? That is, we can write K-A-W, that is P-U-H, corpuscles, and that term corpuscles is represent the number of tiny particles. So Newton predicted that the light is made up of number of tiny particles in the year of 1642, and in second point he can say that this number of particles or these corpuscles are hard means rigid particles, elastic means recoverable size, or we can say that total energy is unchanged, and the massless and weightless. So when we consider Newton considered the number of tiny particles which is made a light, so this number of particles are hard, that is rigid, that means any size and shape, elastic, which means recoverable their size and shape, or we can say that total energy is unchanged, massless, we cannot feel the physical substance of that particles, and weightless, that means we cannot feel the weight, how much weight of that particles. In third point, he says that the corpuscles travels in a straight line with very high speed. Straight line propagation means rectilinear propagation. Already we know that the speed of light in air is represented by 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and in terms of water, which is given by 2.26 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. So the corpuscle travels in a straight line. Now here question is arises. Here Newton say that number of tiny particles, and here he said that the corpuscle travels in a straight line. How is it possible? Because look at here, suppose if you consider single particle, then we can say that corpuscle. Suppose if you consider number of tiny particles, then we can say that corpuscles. So these corpuscles when travels in a straight line, in which condition? In the high speed of the light. High speed of the light. We already know that. Okay, if you consider one of the point, and if we can draw single point one by one, and if you look out these points, it represent like a single direction. So same happens with these tiny particles at a very high speed, which is nothing but 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. The fourth point, he discovered that colors of light are different due to different sizes of corpuscles. That means if the sizes of corpuscles are different, some corpuscles are small, some corpuscles are large, so depending on the size, the colors of the light are depends. So in this corpuscular nature, or we can say that in this theory, Newton predicted these important points, but actually to overcome the drawbacks of the Newton's corpuscular theory, this theory was rejected. So which are the drawbacks came across towards to this theory? So we can discuss one by one. So first drawback is that it could not explain partial reflection. First drawback क्या है इसका? The first drawbacks drawbacks of Newton theory. So first drawback is represent what? It could not explain partial reflection. What is the term partial is represent? The term partial is nothing but the reflection between two media. So Newton could not explain partial reflection. Second drawback is that it was unable to explain interference, diffraction, polarization, and all the optical phenomena which are related or which are exhibits the wave nature of which are exhibits the nature of light. The third drawback is that he said actually the main reason behind behind this rejection was he said that the speed of light in a denser medium is greater than speed of light in rarer medium, but actually experimentally Foucault scientists prove that speed of light in air is greater than speed of light in denser medium, and that is the main reason behind this that Newton's corpuscular theory was rejected. So after that, in second subtopic, the wave nature of light. So after the Newton's prediction in the year 1678, the wave nature of light was proposed by Dutch scientist Christian Huygens. Christian Huygens is a Dutch scientist who discovered the wave nature of light, and he said that light is nothing but a wave. Light is a wave. That means the nature of light is represented by wave. This prediction is discovered by Christian Huygens. So according to this theory, first point to be noted, that is light travels in the form of longitudinal wave with uniform velocity in homogeneous medium. So what is the term homogeneous represent? Homogeneous medium means any suitable medium, or we can say that the medium which is ability of the wave to propagate through empty space. So that medium we can consider in terms of hypothetical medium, or we can say that in terms of homogeneous medium. Now next point to be noted, that is in the form of longitudinal wave. We know that longitudinal wave is represented by like this way, and transverse wave we can consider in terms of this wave. So what is the difference? So in terms of longitudinal wave, we are consider only two cases. First one is compression and second one is rarefaction. But in terms of transverse wave, we are consider another two cases, that is crest and trough. So if we say, if Huygens say that light travels in the form of longitudinal waves, that means there is some rarefaction and compression occurs, and this light caused by vibration of the particle of the medium. And in terms of vacuum, he considered a hypothetical medium called ether. Now next term point to be noted, that the term ether. Ether is nothing but a hypothetical medium, or we can say that a empty space. When we came across chemistry, ether is represented as an organic compound that contains two alkyl groups, but in case of light, ether could not be detected. Ether could not be detected. It was attributed properties like zero density and perfect transparency, or we can say that ether is nothing but very dilute and highly elastic medium, is spread everywhere, but we cannot say that ether is in the form of this one or that one, and because of that one, this concept is quite difficult to accept. So in second point, he can say that colors of light are different due to different wavelength of waves. That means if the wavelength of waves is large, then the light is changes. If the wavelength of wave is low, then the light is changed. That means what colors of light are different due to different wavelength of waves. The third important point is a material medium is necessary for propagation of longitudinal wave. Material medium is what? Mechanical medium, or we can say that to propagate any wave from one position to the another position, it requires some medium. Either it should be denser medium, either it should be rarer medium, but it requires some material medium. And in case of vacuum, we have considered another medium, that is called ether, which is nothing but very dilute and highly elastic medium, and highly elastic medium, which is spread everywhere. Now next point, what are the successes of this Huygens wave theory? The successes is that it could explain the laws of reflection, refraction, as well as partial reflection, interference, diffraction, and polarization, and so on. That means in a simple way we can say that Huygens wave theory explain all the phenomena or all the optical phenomena which are related to the light. Second point is that the wave theory predicted that the speed of light in rarer medium is greater than speed of light in denser medium by using Foucault experiment. Huygens used Foucault experiments to explain that to prove that the speed of light in air is greater than speed of light in water, and because of that one, this theory was acceptable, and which is called as wave theory of light, Huygens wave theory of light. So now next point, we have to consider what are the drawbacks. See, there is some successes, again there is some drawbacks regarding to any theory. So what are the drawbacks of the Huygens wave theory? The first drawback is it could not explain rectilinear propagation of light. That means Newton explains rectilinear propagation. Rectilinear means straight line propagation, but the Huygens could not explain rectilinear propagation of light. This is one of the drawback of the Huygens wave theory. Second drawback is that it could not explain phenomena of polarization. Why? Because the term polarization we are considered in terms of transverse waves only, and whenever we consider the term transverse wave, then we can explain the term polarization. But actually in wave nature, Huygens already conclude that light travels in the form of longitudinal wave, and because of that one he is not able to explain the term polarization. But later on he modified the term and he says that light is an electromagnetic wave. Thing is that first he conclude the wave is a longitudinal wave, but depending on the nature of the wave, he says that light is an electromagnetic wave by using Maxwell's suggestion. Third drawback is that the properties of hypothetical ether were studied further by Michelson and Morley with their apparatus based on the principle of interference of light beams, and this experiment concluded that there is no ether drag when the earth moves through it. That means when earth moves through it around the planet or around the sun, there is no ether is present. This term is experimentally proven by Michelson-Morley experiment, and this is nothing but one of the greatest drawback of the Huygens wave theory. So these are the 3 points which which are represent the drawbacks of Huygens theory. Some successes are again we can consider in terms of Huygens wave theory, but actually main point is that he can conclude the speed of light in air is greater than the speed of light in water, and because of that one this theory was acceptable in the 20th century. So now in this chapter, that is in this wave optics, we are going to study wave optics, refraction, assuming that wave nature of light. See, by particle nature and wave nature, they can by particle nature and wave nature in 20th century, it was accepted that light has dual nature. Light has dual nature. One nature is particle nature and another nature is one nature is particle nature and another nature is wave nature under the different situation, and each particle, suppose if you consider one particle, so each particle having energy E which is equal to h mu. So there h we are represent in terms of Planck's constant, and this mu is nothing but their velocity of light, and E is nothing but their total energy, and this E is equal to h mu, which is represented by energy of one photon, or we can say that energy of one particle. So we can say that, so whenever you consider the corpuscles, so these corpuscles are nothing but photon, and each corpuscles having their own energy which is equal to h mu. So we can conclude that from this total discussion, that is nature of light, we can conclude only simple way, that is light having dual nature. One nature is particle nature and another one nature is wave nature under the given under the different assumptions. So in the next video we are going to study about Huygens principle depending on the wave theory of light, what are the wave normals and wave front. So thank you.